microphone, so I hope that everyone out there can hear me. First of all, I'd like to say that the girls are going to be coming in rather rapidly, so would you please hold your applause until the end. We'll bring all of them back out again for you. I'd also like you to know that the things that I am saying tonight are not the things that I dreamed up, but I've been researching in books. So I would guess that maybe some of you might disagree with it. First, I'd like to say that it's important to understand the role that Palestine has played in the past. Palestine was located, even in ancient times, in an area that was the crossroads of commerce. Camel caravans, even from China, brought silk. There were embroidery ideas that came from Persia and India. The Phoenicians who lived on the coast traded with everyone in the Mediterranean area. So we must recognize that even though we are talking about Palestine, we are going to be seeing influences from other cultures. As a matter of fact, Arab women in many countries can wear dresses that were not even made at all in their country. Two very important centers are Damascus and Baghdad. The political borders that we know of today were rather recent. Before that time, it was all the Turkish Ottoman Empire, and we would not have recognized that there was a difference between a town in Syria and a town in northern Jordan. The clothing would have looked very similar. There are two major trends through history as far as the women's clothing is concerned. The first is that we progress from geometric designs and shapes to those that we call arabesques, which are curves like vines and flowers. The second is that we progressed from dresses that were completely hand-sewn and hand-decorated to those which are made by machine. We have the first two dresses which we will show tonight are completely hand-sewn and hand-embroidered. The V-shaped yoke is very common among the Bedouins of Syria, but we have also seen this dress in Beersheba. Our first model is Pam. This dress is hand-embroidered on cotton. The cross-stitch is only geometric design. We do see the beginnings of palm fronds on the back. Sharon is modeling a dress very similar. It is also cotton. This dress took a year to make, completely by hand, the seams as well as the design. The cuffs are lined with velvet and have some metallic. We see the beginnings in this dress of non-geometric, that is to say, slant borders. In the mid-1800s, the sewing machine was invented. Some people say in Great Britain, others say in America. At first, only the dress pieces were sewn together with the machine, and the pieces were still hand-decorated. Soon, however, machines were designed which could do the embroidery as well. At this time, hand needlework started to decline, partially because the Ottoman Empire had very close contacts with Europe and introduced these sewing machines to the Arab world. The most popular machine stitches are the straight stitch, the zigzag, and the chain stitch. The next dress, worn by Abby, is machine-made. The stitching is also by machine, and it is called a chain stitch. The fabric of this dress is velveteen. Our next model, Rita, is wearing a lovely dress that is also machine-made. The sewing machine that does this is called the Cornelli machine. It is done with both chain stitch and straight stitch on the satin. You'll notice that the sleeves are fairly close-fitting. This is typical of cooler climates, such as we see in Asir province. Hanan is wearing a machine-embroidered dress, which is in very strong, bright floral patterns. It is done in a satin stitch, where the design of the flower is not just outlined with the stitch, but is actually filled in totally by the stitches themselves. This dress comes from Albere. Couching is an important new technique. I shouldn't say new in terms of time, but new in terms of our program. Couching is laid work. This is where the threads are laid on the surface of the fabric and are then stitched down. by threads going across it. This was originally done because the metallic threads that were used were actually of gold and silver, and they did not want to waste this expensive material by going in the underside of the fabric. Today, couching is done mostly by machine, and the designs are primarily floral, since it is easier to do these with the machine. These designs, of course, are also called arabesque. Nadia is wearing a very ornate dress from Beit Hanina, where large amounts of this type of embroidery are preferred. This dress, of course, is worn for special occasions like weddings. The machine couching is on rayon velveteen. While we're waiting for our next model, I'd like to mention a type of embroidery which is very important to the Arab world, although it is not done very much anymore. It's called sarma, and it's where cardboard piece is cut into the desired shape. The threads, like the metallic threads, are wound round and around the shape until it is completely covered. Then the shape is couched to the fabric. The most famous use of this technique is on the holy kiswa, the black drape which covers the Kaaba. As it happens, I have a dress on tonight which has that type of design. A type of sarma which is used in Turkey is called bengali, and there they add a sprinkling of gold sequins to make it glitter even more. Our next dress, Pan is our model, is machine couched on velveteen. As you can see, the panels are alternating their colors. We call this a Thawb Malak, or queenly dress. This dress from Jebba is typical of the style used for many Palestinian dresses. In the past, it was usually red and green panels worn with wide sleeves, commonly known in the West as the Bethany dress. Another dress from Beit Hanina. Abby is wearing a velvet dress. This also was machine couching. Please notice on her sleeve and on top of each design of the hem a tiny rooster. Well, this is important because we'll talk about the rooster a little later. Sharon is modeling a machine couch. These designs are becoming more and more popular in Palestine. The cross-stitch dresses we will see later are a little bit older in style. This dress is from Okara. Rita is wearing a machine couch dress from Albire. It's rayon velveteen. We have a shorter sleeve and a different type of neckline. It gives us a little creative difference in style. In very old times, Arab women were expected to have many domestic skills. Included were spinning sheep wool and goat hair into yarn, dyeing the yarn, and weaving it into fabric. The width of the loom, which was comfortable for the person who was doing the weaving, dictated how wide the fabric pieces would be. Originally, the front and back dress panel of an Arab woman's dress was made from one continuous strip. The side panels and sleeves were then cut from another strip. These dresses were designed roomy. They were very practical because they protected the woman from the heat of the desert, helped keep the moisture near her skin, and also they allowed her to wear these same dresses while pregnant. Very impractical Western society, we have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. This design feature continues even after the mechanical looms were able to weave the fabric wider. Hanan is wearing a dress from Tulkarm. This dress is made of velvet. The designs are couched by machine. Nadia has the only dress in the show which has been couched dress also.